Hey guys, I'm here with two students of mine, Richard Castano and Stevie Bell. They just completed their first wholesale deal. They're members in the Pro Wholesaler VIP program. They're winners, they're finishers, they're people that didn't take no for an answer. They're people that believed that it could work, put in the work and made it happen. So happy to be here today to talk about their first deal, talk about the program, talk about them teaming up together, and anything else that comes through this process. So how you doing, guys?
Awesome. Happy to be here
Doing
with
great,
you
Alex.
today.
Yeah, happy to have you guys here. And I know you guys just completed your first deal over in Jacksonville, Florida. And what's pretty cool is you guys utilized the Pro Wholesaler community and teamed up pretty early on. And I think in real estate, there's always power in numbers and power in relationships and teaming up, working together, learning from each other. And it's cool because we haven't had two students do their first deal where they teamed up together and made it happen. So it's something that's, has happened down the line where other students have co-wholesale deals together, but not their first deal really. So happy to have you guys here and to share about it a little bit.
Thank you. Well, I attribute our teaming up with Richard reaching out. He needed access to the MLS and he talked about partnering together. And I love the idea because honestly, I can't even say I would have closed a deal by now if I had been by myself. We both work full-time. I work full-time in real estate. He works full-time in his job. And to just find time, we get caught up in this. I really love this. And we get so caught up in it and busy, and then the time goes away and I'm thinking, wow, I either have to make a deal happen or I have to go sell a house because I've got to earn it a living. So to have a partner to me is priceless. And I think I told you this before, maybe it was Ryan I was talking to the other day, I'm not sure, but Richard brings so much energy to our partnership. I think I told you he makes coffee nervous. So, I mean, he's like, yeah. And I love that because he brings me up, brings me up a level. I'm in my pace and I'm going about it, but he's the man.
Awesome. Yeah, it's important to have partners. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. So I definitely attribute our success and our teaming up to this program. I wouldn't have found Stevie without the Facebook group. I think it was either Sam or Ryan who tagged me in Stevie's post saying she's willing to help someone out in Florida, and that just worked out perfectly. And I messaged her, say, hey, are you going to the RIA? I invited her to the RIA and we met that first day at a RIA, and it worked out well.
That's awesome. I remember that. Yeah. Stevie, you made that post in the Facebook group, willing to put that helping hand out. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, Sam tagged you in there. That's how it all started. That was only 10 weeks ago, which is pretty cool too.
Yep.
Wow.
So in 10 weeks of teaming up, I just want to mention with partners too. Yeah, it's so important that your partners bring energy to each other. I've had partners in different businesses and in real estate, and I've had some where they didn't work well, and kind of go with your gut instinct, like they kind of suck the energy out of you. But yeah, you need people that are going to give you energy that you work well together with. It sounds like you guys have that, and that's something special, not to take for granted.
Exactly. And I think it's unusual. It's probably an unusual matchup for the two of us. I'm twice his age. I'm old enough to be his mother, but I treat him like he's my little brother. So it works. It works. What we have really works. And again, I attribute that to Richard because he's laser focused and we have the same goals. We both just want to be successful at this, and we love it. So far, we're having so much fun as well.
Absolutely. And on top of that, you're licensed, and then Richard isn't too, right?
Right.
Cool. So
that helps me out a lot. That's sorry, it's like delayed. Okay. That to me is my almost if I have to describe my security blanket. If a realtor comes up to me and tells me a word I don't understand, I just kind of nod my head and I call Stevie, hey, this is what they said. What does this mean? And then she'll kind of explain it to me and we'll go back and forth. And that's just worked out well. And I definitely think it was definitely easier partnering up with someone for my first deal because Stevie understands the language a lot better than I did. I'm starting to understand it better, but at that time, I didn't really understand the lingo. I didn't understand some of the things we did. So yeah, I'm definitely, my success is definitely because of Stevie, because she kind of explains everything to me as I'm going along.
She's your real estate translator.
Yes, she is.
There's a lot of little things. I mean, when you're starting from scratch, EMD, FAR bar, RPA, contingencies, different types of contingencies. I mean, everything under the sun, all the different types of reports, title,
Right.
understanding. But once you do a few transactions, it just kind of becomes pretty simple and everything kind of blends in together. But at the forefront, I remember my first deal is just like, what are all these line items?
Right.
This contract's 10 pages.
Acronyms.
Yeah, the REO.
The acronyms.
All right. So you guys teamed up about 10 weeks ago, and I know you guys have been working hard. Let's talk about that first deal that you guys just did. I think it closed Monday of this week. So
Yeah.
like a few days, 4 or 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Can you guys talk about that one? Because I think the first deals are always really fun. I remember my first deal. I learned so much, and let's just chat about that. I think there'll be a lot of
Go,
good stuff
Richard.
from
Okay, yeah, I could start. And it's I will say this first deal was definitely I like to describe it as like trial by fire, because anything that could happen did happen. This property, when I was looking at different properties, I was in MLS and I was looking for specifically expired listings. The reason why is because the person that I was looking, or the financing partner that I was looking at these properties for was, I think I told you, Alex, they were looking for 60% Zillow.
yeah, the Zestimate, 60%.
Yeah, Zestimate, yes. So I found one that was well below that, and then it was off market. It was expired on the MLS, and then so weird. I contacted the real estate agent and said, yes, this property is off market, but there was someone living there, and I was okay, that's fine. The person was going to be evicted. So I submitted an offer for the asking price, which was $30K. And I submitted, the offer was from, when was it?
Uh-oh.
I don't remember the exact date. So the person can get evicted. They can kind of have the property ready, and then we can close on it. All right. So when the property, so the next day, that was Friday, Saturday morning, we went to see the property, Stevie and I. The real estate agent told me I was tentatively approved, or I think that's what she said. Your offer has been tentatively accepted. You have to go and see the property. So I get there, and then she said, hey, things have changed. The property is back on the market, and we're now accepting the highest and best offer by Monday morning. So that was kind of
Just pull a quick one on you.
With 9 showings that day and 4 the next day.
Right.
So it was off market. You found it off market, call expired listing, talk to the agent.
Right.
She got an offer, and then she's like, oh, I want to put this back on the market.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly what she did. So then so then we go back to the drawing board, Stevie and I. Stevie brings up the great idea about the escalator clause.
Mm-hmm.
So we submit that offer of 30K up to 40K. So beating the highest offer by 500. And that's kind of like our it works for us. It helps us. I think our offers are taken more seriously. So then she calls me back and she's like, hey, we're willing to accept your offer of 40K. And I'm like, okay, so that's fine. You can, that's fine if you want to accept that offer 40K. Well, which offer did I beat? Oh, there's a bunch of offers that are higher than 40K. That's what she explains to me. There's a bunch of offers that are higher than 40K. I'm like, so why are you accepting mine? Well, you were the first offer. That's why. So then I hang up. And this is the best part about having Stevie. I call Stevie. I'm like, I think she's lying to me. I was like, there's no way she's accepting my offer, even though she wanted highest and best offer. So then I call her back because Stevie tells me, I call her back and say, hey, what is the offer that I beat? And she's like, oh, I misspoke earlier. The highest offer was $39,000. Your offer is going to be accepted for $39,500. And I was like, okay, that's fine. We'll accept it. So then she draws it up. She writes up a contract. And then this is where Stevie comes. That's where Stevie's strength is. So I get the contract. I send it. I forward it to Stevie. Stevie reviews it. Says, "Where's the offer you beat?" And I email the agent, or I actually call the agent. I'm like, hey, I see that you drew up a new contract, which is fine, but at least send me the offer that I beat. She's like, Richard, I know how to do my job. Oh yeah. And she's representing me as an agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm great time to have your first deal. And she's like, Richard, she's like, Richard, I know how to do my job. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Then just send me the offer I beat. She sends me it later in the day. So then Stevie's like, all right, that's fine. Let's just move forward with it. So then she doesn't change the listing on the MLS as a contingent, or it's still active.
Yeah.
So I go back to the original financing partner that I acquired this property for, and he's like, we only work with things that are expired on the MLS. Can you tell their agent to change the status? So I call the agent, and she's like, no, I'm not going to change the status. Then I speak to Stevie. Stevie's like, well, she kind of has to change the status to, what was it? Contingent?
Contingent taking back up once the seller has signed our offer, has accepted our offer. They usually change the status. They have 24 hours to change the status.
Right. So she gets really upset about that I told her to change the status because I'm telling her how to do her job again, and she's not a very nice lady. I tell you, for your first deal when you're uncomfortable, that's a very difficult situation. And I probably would have walked away if it wasn't for Stevie kind of walking me through the process.
So she was beating up on my little brother, and I had to make a phone call.
Came in there. Yeah, you laid down the law, huh?
So then I call the financing partner, and he's like, well, we really want it off. They're a wholesaling company, and they just try to find off-market property, and their kind of strategy is we're providing a service for real estate agents before the property even gets on the market, and that's kind of their thing. But they're pumping out $15,000 to $25,000 in ads a month, try to acquire these properties before they hit the market, which is fine. That's what they're doing. I'll stay with my expired listings, and I'll find that stuff on the MLS the same way we learned in your program. So then what happens? Stevie, do you want to take over from this part? I mean, this is where it gets complicated because I'm at work and Stevie is not at work. And then, actually, no, I lied. This is where it's at. I joined a call. Stevie tells me that, hey, join a call, give it to Alex, see what Alex has to say. And I kind of walk through, I explain what's going on, right? And then you kind of say, all right, well, it's good that you have it. Congratulations that you have something under contract. I'm like, it doesn't feel too good, but yeah, sure. You tell me to play backwards. You tell me you find this company called JWB. And then so I write it down. I go on their website and I tell them, hey, I have this house under contract. Are you interested? It's just on their website, and an email gets generated, sent to my email saying your email or your message was sent. And no one's returned my message or didn't return my message at the time. So then I go back and I do what you explained to me, which is why I think this is what separates your program, is that we can continuously bring scenarios that you have your expertise, Ryan has his expertise, and you guys kind of walk us through these situations that we wouldn't have thought of. So I find the properties that's so nearby. I look at the tax records, find the company. It just so happens to be JWB. So I call JWB and they're like, yeah, we received your offer. We actually emailed you. And I'm like, great. So they have a field agent where the agent goes by and just looks at houses whenever they come in. I call him. He goes in there and he's like, hey, the most I can offer you is was like 43. And I'm like, oh, I was ecstatic. We would have taken anything.
So this is great because when you show up on the Q&A call, right, you kind of thought it was like dead in the water, right? Because you had this one buyer, 60% of his estimate. And I was like, all right, we need to find some new buyers or a new buyer, which we call financing partners in the program. And then, yeah, you did exactly that, took the sniper rifle approach, found that buyer, and then like, oh crap, this turned from nothing to a few grand, right?
Right. So, and that approach, I think I would definitely continue to use that approach.
Yeah.
Just because it's public information. And these people have proven they're interested in buying properties nearby in similar price range. And those are usually motivated buyers. They're I would say more professional versus trying to cold call someone and work that way, which is a nightmare because they'll give you all these scenarios and these numbers that aren't realistic, like 20%, 25%. I think we had someone, Stevie, early on, what, 50%?
Yep.
Oh my God, 50%. Like that's crazy.
Anyone will do that. Yeah. You're stupid if you don't do that deal. Like, you know,
Right.
So, yeah.
I'd do
Right?
that deal.
Yeah. And we all would if we had it. We wouldn't give that deal up.
50%. I mean, exactly. You put in 100, you come out with 200. I mean, I'm definitely doing that.
Right.
So yeah, the sniper scope definitely helped. The sniper approach definitely helped because you play backwards, but you also find people who are interested in those specific areas. What helped me out a lot though, because I was at work.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes Stevie does the documentation, sometimes I do the documentation, and we use each other's actually names. So like I'll do an offer just on the best transaction funding. We'll go on there. I'll put it on Stevie's name depending on how we're gonna approach this specific offer or house. But at that time, I was at work and Stevie was handling all the documentation. Well, the real estate agent got involved and was upset about that because there was a confusion. Your
internet was down.
My internet was down, yeah, because I have a different office and my internet's poor there. So Stevie took over, and there was a confusion, and the real estate agent was like, "Oh well, you have to tell me whether you're gonna assign the property because now the seller may not agree to it, and I just don't appreciate lying when I tell you, and I tell Stevie, I had the script always open. I read it verbatim. I'm either going to put the property in my name or my financing partner's name. Mm-hmm. I never did. I'll get confused if I don't follow the script, at least for right now, until I get my first couple properties. Probably like a year from now, I would say I'll feel comfortable not using the script. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just, you can't mess up because it's exactly what you need, the information you need, as long as you follow the script. So then, she's upset and she kind of like almost threatens us. So like they're going to walk away from the offer. I'm like, okay, well, if you can get more than 39, which I don't think she could, it was kind of a bluff. Anyways, I guess, we could wrap it up. It was just a lot. It was a big headache because this real estate agent was just not working with us. And the real estate agent, I believe, was upset because she made 6% off of 39, and we made almost double. Yeah. Selling the property. Yeah. But I feel like those were growing pains that we had to go through. And we've had other properties under contract. We just haven't been able to move forward with them because of for example, JWB was like, they looked at the other properties that we've sent them and they're like, oh, we're just not interested in this one. And as long as we have that inspection clause on there, we walk from it. And I mean, that's kind of our safety net there.
Totally.
Steve, do you want to add anything? I don't know if I left anything there.
You covered pretty much all of it. That was great. The agent was a challenge. Let me just say, her and we exchanged some words and I tried to keep it pleasant. I called my mentor who got me into real estate, my best friend. She's been in real estate 30 something years. And I said, look, I'm working with an investor, referring to Richard. And this agent is she's so horrible to him. I think he needs to report her. I would have reported her. She goes, no, don't do that. As big as Jacksonville is, I mean, our square miles were the biggest city, I think, in the US.
Yeah.
Because Duval County's, square mileage. But she said, as big as Jacksonville is, it's this big and you will work with her again. You will. And she said, don't burn any bridges. Just go make nice and smooth it over and see what happens. So I'm sure I made a couple errors as well. We had one document error when I was submitting stuff for Richard. I was trying to get it done because his internet was down. And I submitted 2 forms when I should have submitted 1. So I withdrew 1. And it was the, what's our form, that we submit for our fee. There's the assignment.
Oh yeah, independent consultant agreement.
Yes, the independent consultant. Okay, so I did the assignment and then I just automatically pulled the consulting agreement in 2. So the acquisitions manager at JWB, she said, are you charging us twice for the assignment fee? I said, no. She goes, well, you have it on the assignment, which we agreed to, and you're charging the same thing as a consultant fee, the $3,500. I said, ignore that. I assumed that I just had to notate what the assignment amount was. And then the consulting fee was our agreement that you would pay. So whichever one, she goes, nope, the assignment form is perfect. I said, okay, tear up the other one. So again, had another conversation with the agent because she didn't understand the assignment. So she filled out her own assignment on behalf of the seller, submitted it, made Richard sign it. And I just threw myself under the bus a couple times as whatever, you know, he didn't have internet. I'm trying to help. I've interjected and I apologize if I've caused mass confusion, all this stuff. And, you know, I hope I hope you have a great day. Oh, and on top of all of that, you can't make this stuff up. Her fur baby died.
Oh.
And how old was her animal, her dog? Was it her dog?
Yeah, it was her dog. So
I mean,
yeah.
literally this woman gets on the phone with me and she's like, I apologize for my voice. You could tell she had been weeping for probably days. She was with him when she had to put him down and she's in the middle of this deal and then the confusion. And then we got confused with JWB wanting to use their title company to close. So as the buyer paying cash, we selected that as our title company. Well, what they were willing to do, the confusion there was that they, I forget what they called it, Richard, as a consideration for JWB, they handle all their deals. They would go in and handle the closing. They had like the power of attorney to go in and do that. So we could close at the seller's title company originally. And the agent was so upset, well, we don't know what their fees are. We know what her fees she could expect over here. And I said, I'm so sorry. Okay, we changed the wording. We had so many emails colliding.
Yeah.
Again, I apologize. I messed up. So we ended up, everything settled. I hope I get to you again. And this was, you know, as crazy as it was. And I'm so sorry about your loss. It's been a crazy week for all of us. And I'm glad everything's on track and we're headed to closing. The deal is going to happen and everybody's happy. So it ended up great, but it was kind of crazy, wasn't it, Richard?
Right. So even with that, Alex, even with all that, I would say drama, the easiest $3,000+ I've made. I mean, because Stevie says she has to spend months and months with clients, you know, trying to help them buy a home. I mean, I come here and I probably have to work a full month to make that. I mean,
so in comparison, I had a buyer I closed on the same week, and their house, they went under contract. It was a new build in August. They closed, I think, on Thursday or Friday before our deal closed. And a new build, $240 something thousand. My commission was $2,700, something like that. And then Richard and I, it was $3,500. We did have to pay the broker transaction fee. That was $309. So we didn't care. Okay. If we'd have made $309 off the deal, we would have been so happy. So.
Awesome. Guys.
I'd do it all again. Wouldn't you, Richard?
Yeah, definitely. There's some things that I'm better prepared for, but I definitely would do it all again.
Yeah.
No.
Great,
but
guys.
I tell you what, the biggest strength that we have, the biggest strength I feel like, and I always tell Stevie this, the advantage that we have over a bunch of the wholesalers here is, first of all, their verbiage is horrendous when they're talking and explaining how they're wholesalers. They put it on Facebook. Hey, I'm wholesaling this property. I'm wholesaling this. I'm wholesaling that. You mean, you know, you don't really need to disclose that. And then also, we can bring up scenarios, dead deals, and you, Ryan, and just the whole, our whole group can speak on their experiences and kind of help us figure it out.
Totally. Yeah, there's a lot of value in these deals. You have a deal under contract. You did all the hard work. Let's monetize that thing one way or another. Whether it's, you know, if we can't get 10 grand, let's get a few grand, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we said in the last call. Man, you ever get a deal? You guys get a deal under contract. I don't know what to do with it. Just bring it. We'll think of something, you know?
Yeah. And it worked out better than we could have imagined. I mean, because I had, now I have JWB, her field agent on like speed dial. Me and him text every day. And like we said, you know, these are serious buyers who are trying to close 700+ homes a a year and more. And they also buy land. I've got their specific numbers on what they want to work with. So it's just right now and it kind of, Stevie can kind of explain this a little better. We're in a seller's market. So these people want craziest prices for these houses. Just because of the inventory is so low right now that just right now we're working on this property that we're going to submit an offer for. The guy acquired it 3 days ago for 55, and he was asking 115, and now he dropped it to 105, but he wants us to pay all the closing costs. It's like, it's crazy numbers they're throwing at us.
That's where if you can get something under contract, you have all the leverage, right? Because it is a seller's market too. Inventory's tight. So,
right.
I mean, and I'm a big believer in like reverse engineering success. So whatever you did to get this last deal too, try doing that again, as well as work on the on market, but hit some expireds. Maybe you can come up with your own little script on that too. Because it works,
Right.
Well, Alex, you kind of set a personal goal for us. I guess it was last week's call, or I've lost all sense of time because I still am like trying to get anesthesia out of my brain. But when you were talking, somebody was asking you a question on the call, and they were asking about JWB and who is this and how does this company work, and you were explaining all of that. And you said when you find a company like that does 700 homes a year, sell them, get 100 homes for them. So I told Richard, I said, that's our new goal, is to get 100 homes for JWB. We're going to be focused on that. We're going to take our guy out to lunch. We're going to stop by the office, take donuts, Starbucks, whatever. And we're going to say, what is it you want? Take us out to the job site. When you walk through it, what are you looking for and everything? So it gives us an idea so we can bring you what you want, what you need, help you get your numbers, because we can't do anything but make money off of them.
And learn so much, how they see, how they look at a property, how they run renovations, how they're able to quickly analyze these deals, how they're able to agree to signing the contract in 24 hours and taking over this deal, right?
Yeah. They were on it. They were just like that, weren't they, Richard?
So I guess for me, since it was my first deal, I was so worried about, are they going to do this? Are they going to do this? And on the other side, on their side, they're like, yeah, don't worry, we got it. They wired it, and I was freaking out. They're going to wire this, and I guess they're so used to doing this that I was freaking out about nothing because they know what they're doing, and I guess I was just kind of, when you track your first deal, I keep calling Steve. I'm like, Steve, do you know if they're wiring it? Have they wired it? I got an email. What should I do? And I think that helps me a lot. And I would say that's been the easiest and best thing about this program was that I have Stevie, and I can kind of, any concerns I have, I can kind of ask her, and then we can kind of just talk through it. No, this is what's going to happen. This is actually normal. Oh, this is what's supposed to happen, and that's helped a lot.
Totally. And yeah, just keep working with that buyer. I mean, in my experience from doing hundreds of deals, just there's a difference between the buyers, right? We don't need 100 buyers to try, to email a property to, when they can have all different types of experience levels, quality levels. JWB, I work with hedge funds, I work with other turnkey providers. Those people are at the top, right? They're vertically integrated. They're literally going to do about 700 houses. They have all their processes in order. Like you said, they said, hey, we're on it. They're on it. Those are the people you want to work with, right? We talk about Pro Wholesaler, about being a pro. There's amateur cash buyers out there, and everything that could have went wrong on this deal in some ways what the agent did, right? It was the agent didn't want to work with us, and actually everything, the cash buyer didn't want the deal, the original one, right? That financing partner. But once you had that quality financing partner in there, things went pretty smooth after that. Yeah. And we already put in a lot of work. You put in a lot of work to get these deals under contract. The last thing you want to do is deal with a tire kicker financing partner who doesn't know how to close a deal, who blows up the deal for us. So yeah, just emphasizing the point of JWB, a company that can do 700 houses a year, just like you were saying, get lunch with them, go to their office, do an office visit, see how they analyze properties, see what zip codes they're buying in, see if you can get a list of all the properties they bought this last year, their hot markets that they like. And now those are all your zones, your areas that you're going to focus in. whether it's off market properties or on market, either one. We already know they don't care about on market property, right?
Oh, they don't care.
They don't care at
They
all.
don't care. Mm-mm.
And that's a big myth. That's what a lot of people think, and it really comes from the quality of your financing partner, your cash buyer. Like, there's a lot of cash buyers out there haven't done a lot of deals and say, I don't want any deals from the MLS. But what do we say, right? A deal's a deal. It doesn't matter where it comes from. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
So one thing I will say about some of these big financing partners that are able to buy whatever and then sell it for whatever price they want to, because they have consistent investors that are willing to buy rental properties and take $100, $200, $300 a month on these rental properties. Some agents and some wholesalers don't want to work with these big companies because they think that they're increasing the price of the cost of living in these areas. So that's one big thing that Steve and I have spoken about. And we think of it differently. We think they're improving the area. And
Sure.
And when I spoke to this, one of the employees for JWB, I was like, "You guys are doing some great work, buying all these houses, and you can tell. So you can drive by some neighborhoods and tell which houses JWB have touched." And I was, "You guys are doing great work." He's like, "I wish everyone felt that way. We don't have a lot of people that want to work with us." I'm like, "I got you,
Yeah.
Stevie, and I got you. We'll work with you." I mean, because they're doing great. I honestly believe they're doing great work. Because if you would have seen this house that they purchased, I don't see anyone who's going to improve that. No, other
Exactly.
than that,
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say they're the only company that probably has the economies of scale to actually do that, to take it down at the price and fix it up, to renovate it for it to be a profitable deal for them. And otherwise, if they didn't buy it, then it'd probably just be sitting or go to another buyer, and maybe someone would do a shoddy job. But these guys know how to do their work. They know how to fix a house and improve values. And that's just the way it goes. So, you can fight against the change. The only thing constant in life is change. So, you're going to adapt, or you're going to hold on to what's been going on. Right.
Right.
I think our guy told us, what did he tell you, Richard, when he looked at it? It was a 3-1 or 3-2. And when he looked at it, he saw a 4-2. Yeah. And I have to tell you, Alex, of some of the bad houses I have walked through, this was the absolute worst I have ever seen. It was like a hoarder's house. There was literally a path, but when you walked in the front door of the living room, there was a huge hole in the roof with blue tarp hanging down, and people lived there and were evicted out of this house. And it was so sad. And I think I told Richard, when he's, we're looking at some pictures in some of these houses, and he's like, "Wow, nobody lives there." And I said, "Oh, you'd be surprised where people find shelter. They'll stay anywhere they can." And we walked through this house. I mean, I let Richard be the fall guy. I'm like, "You go first." And there were people behind us because there were other showings. And it was just, you did not want to touch a light switch. And they come in, they're like, "Oh yeah, we love this house. We'll take it. We see a 4-2." And they had to clean that house out before they could even demo it to renovate. Mind blowing. You would never think.
Right. And that kind of just adds to, don't give up on a deal. Even if the renovations you think isn't there, what you're seeing as a 3-1, an investor might see as a 4-2. And a 4, I think when we were in a 3-1, we were like, there's no way they can afford this and still be able to renovate it. But we were doing comps at 3-1s. They were doing comps at 4-2s. And when we did the comps at 4-2, we were like, "Dang, these people are making some good money off of this house now."
We should ask for more.
Yeah. Well, the comps came in. The house next door was exactly the same house. And I don't know if it was updated. I can't remember when I looked on RPR at the pictures and stuff. But the comps were 105, I think maybe 120 on the high end. And I think they come back and they're going to sell it for 140, I think,
wow.
Which it was at the end of the street. So it was a really good lot. And across the street was a wide open lot because there was a church in the front of the property. And so, but I have to tell you, it was in a zip code, which is one of the highest crime areas in Jacksonville. And to me, I thought that's the deal breaker right there, is just the neighborhood itself. They didn't flinch.
They have buyers who
and
don't
that's
care.
what made us feel good about them improving Jacksonville. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
so you got to just clear your head. You like when you started that first module that we do of get your mindset right and get your head wrapped around things, and you are an investor. I told Richard, I said, this is my first time at this on the investment side of it. I've worked with some investors, but not like that. I've worked with guys who just want to go in and do the paint on the walls and change the floors and make it an Airbnb type of investment
Lipstick
stuff.
on a pig.
I have not worked with, lipstick on a pig. I've not worked with total renovations. I have not worked with that. So as an agent, I mean, I really had to change my mindset. And now I'll walk in any house and be like, okay, this will work. This is great. This is great. That first house was probably our best experience.
Yeah.
That's awesome, guys.
You definitely have to take your. I would say that I live in a nicer community in Jacksonville. So I've come in there thinking about my experience. Like, okay, I look at this and I'm coming with my personal experiences. You have to remove that. You have to look at this completely as an investor, and how will this investor, what are they willing to do to this, and that's how you have to put their cap on. How are they looking at it? What are they thinking of? And I would say, try not to give up on a property until it's time to give up, until it's the last day you couldn't find anything, and then walk away. But, it's always out there. You have to put pressure in order to get diamonds.
Yeah. Got to have positive persistence. And exactly what you guys are saying, we talk about in the Q&A calls. If you can step into the shoes of your financing partner, if you can step in the shoes of who's ever in charge of acquisitions at JWB and see what they see, now you know exactly how you need to take down a deal. Now you will see the potential of a 3-1-2, a 4-2. And that doesn't happen overnight. It happens from learning through experience, from wholesaling them a deal like a 3-1, and they see a 4-2. And now we ask the question, how do they see it that way? And are they adding a bathroom and another bed inside the square footage? Or are they going in there and adding square footage to the property? Because now what this does for both of you, what about all the 2-1s and 3-1s on the MLS? How about we analyze them as 3-2s? How about we analyze them as 4-2s? Where's the potential there? And that's just kind of some next level stuff once you can start seeing it from that direction. So
and you're right about that too. Sorry, if I can just add just real quick. I have a rental property that's a 3-2 in a nicer side of town, but it's 1,700 square feet, right? They consider, so a 2-1 is like 800 square feet. A 3-1, 3-2, that's like 1,100 square feet. So they really could squeeze some rooms in there. So 1,100 square feet, I would never consider a 3-2, 3-1. They're all about it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and is that what they're doing, guys, on this property? Are they operating within the existing square footage, or are they adding square footage?
No, okay. They're not adding anything. They're taking like it was a garage, and it was converted into a living room, and they're taking that garage / living room and making it a room. I think that's what they're doing. I think that's where they're going to add the extra bedroom and extra bathroom. You have to be able to see that and think how they're thinking.
So that's going to translate to you guys for if you want to evolve, if you want to fix and flip, you want to buy and hold property, you want to rent it out. I mean, this is where I like to talk about getting paid to learn. This is how, when I evolved from wholesaling to wholesaling and fixing and flipping, is because I would meet with my cash buyers, my financing partners, we'd get coffee, we'd get lunch, we'd walk through the property. I'd learn their general contractors. I'd see their lenders, who are you using for your capital, what are your borrowing rates of capital. All of these things are experiences that you can learn from. All these relationships that you deepen will only help your breadth and depth of this real estate knowledge. And the way I see it too is that you provide so much value to any financing partner, and especially JWB. They bought that property, right? All they have to do is sign the dotted line, sign the assignment, and they have a deal for their company. It's 1 to 700 they want to take down, and they will gladly pay $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 for that all day, because they didn't need to spend a dime in marketing to get that, right? So there's extreme value there that you're bringing. And so they're incentivized, if this acquisitions manager, the person you're speaking to, for you to develop that relationship, the the more they can teach you too in the process or help you see what they see, the more deals you're going to be able to bring them. And that's the way that I've been able to build relationships with my financing partners is like, hey, help me help you. Like if I have questions and I'm asking about, hey, what are the renovations on this? How are you estimating these renovations? It only helps that they share that information, right? Because now the next time a property comes around, right, how JWB analyzes this property, their renovations, exactly what it's going to be. And maybe that shaves down the renovation from 40,000 to 30,000. Well, maybe that's a $10,000 wholesale profit right there for you, right? And maybe they're seeing the ARVs, they look at everything on the MLS, but now maybe they do mark it up 10% of whatever the ARV is for the comps in that area because they have out-of-state buyers there, right? So seeing how they see on all these deals will give you that opportunity to get these deals under contract all the time. So I'm really excited for you. I know you guys are going to do that. But that was really, if I go back almost 10 years now, what really upped my progress was being there, being willing to ask these cash buyers, these financing partners, what they see, and even if you guys are available, hey, do you mind if we stop by the property? We'd love to check out, the renovation, see how it's going. Who are the subcontractors? Who are the contractors? Just write them down, take their cards. Even if you don't use them for a few months, now you got them, and they do great work, and they do repetitive work too, because that's a big asset for any fix and flipper, for any buy and holder. These contractors, just another variable in the mix once you get to start doing that.
That's so true. I didn't think that far.
Yeah.
We should go by and see that house, Richard, once, a couple weeks from now and see the progress on it. I would love to see that place, what they do with it.
Well, I actually asked him, and he said, yeah, I'll let you know when, as soon as it's done, so you can come look at it. Cause I still can't visualize what they're going to do to it just cause I've never seen it done,
Mm-hmm.
and I definitely, my goal is to wholesale enough properties until I can buy and hold. I want to buy and hold as many properties as I can. So
I love it.
Yeah. Richard's trying to buy and hold when we're trying to wholesale our first deal. I'm like, you just need to slow down. That's why I said he makes coffee nervous. He's way over here. He's like, we should flip this. When I'm like,
it's hard for
I'm
right.
wholesaling.
I guess, Alex, it's hard for me. Yeah. It's hard for me to look at a property knowing, so I don't know exactly how to buy and hold a house or how to fix and flip a house, but I know how to calculate what they're going to have as ROI. And I'm like, dang, they're making 50 grand, 60 grand on this. And it's going to be 4 months. I'm like, I wish I could do this. So I'll get there when I get more comfortable. But it's a little harder when it's your money.
Yeah. And it's definitely harder when it's your money. All the risk is on the line. Definitely things changed for me, guys, when I had to borrow a few $100,000 and more than that for my first fix and flip, and saying, okay, I'm personally liable if anything goes wrong. Like, you better get your numbers right.
Right.
You better put the work in. And that's the great thing about wholesaling, guys, that you're starting out. You found one of the best buyers. How are they running things? How are their operations looking? Like, literally, who are the general contractors? Because any fix and flip, that can make or break your deal. Like, thankfully for me, I haven't had general contractors take my money and run away, but I've seen several other people, acquaintances whose businesses have a general contractor, and that general contractor doesn't know how to manage their money. Their business blows up, they file bankruptcy. Now you're fixing and flipping a property, and guess what? That $30,000 budget you put in, it's all gone. Start from scratch, or pay 15, 20,000. So I know you guys want to get to that next level, and you will. And we got to have those aspirations and those goals. But I also love that you guys have been able to focus really on this wholesaling aspect, because that's the only way we're going to make it happen. And any deal that you wholesale, the way I like to think about it, would have been a deal that you could fix and flip, right? Because there was enough room in there for you to wholesale it and for someone else to fix and flip it. So that's something to always keep in mind. Okay, when you're ready, when you have the lenders, or you want to use your own capital, buy this property, great. But learn these little nuances through wholesaling with no risk first. Because one bad deal, I mean, if we bought up more than we can chew on one bad deal, that can kind of hurt you for a little bit. The most I've lost on a deal is 26,000. Thankfully, ooh. I had a lot of other deals going on too, but learn from it. That was the only deal I ever lost money on, and that was early on, like in my first year.
Only took one time, didn't it?
Only took one time. Yeah. Yeah. So then, yeah, there's a good saying, the best deal you ever do on like the fix and flip side is the one you never do sometimes. And you get a, kind of an more of a conservative eye. I'm definitely conservative, and I want to get wins all the time, conservative in the repairs. So I love the learning you guys are having. I love that you guys just jumped in the fire. You're with a top buyer, guys, and you guys are pros, you're professionals, you're in it right now. Like you guys went through this first deal, and now the sky's the limit. It's just about repeating the process, getting this acquisition process down and doing it again and again.
Well, thank you. We couldn't have done it without you, Alex.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
100%. We could not have. We would have never figured this out, would we, Richard? Well, maybe eventually, but it would have been probably quite a while.
Well, you guys did all the work, right?
Well, our investment has paid off greatly. Our investment in your program, we feel like it is a very stellar program. I don't have any words. We were talking about it this morning. I said, how did you find them? And I had invested in just a little tidbit of a program for 7 days, 2 hours a day. And it was a female who very successful, and she has sons that are very successful, and you've probably heard of them. But at the end of that week, I thought, okay, this is what I want to do. How do I want to do this? And when I heard about the rest of the program and the mentoring, it didn't even register with me. So I saw you on Facebook, and oh my gosh, every day on my phone, you're everywhere, Alex. Your geographical, what are those called? Geo ads or something? Fantastic. Because I get hit with them 2 or 3 times a day. I want to screenshot it and like send it to you and say, there you are again. There you are again.
Email it over.
When I saw you and I came in and I did the training, I'm like, first of all, in my career as at my age, I've worked corporate my whole life. I've been in business for myself for 20 years. So I really look for professionals, and that's who I want to learn from, somebody who has proven success. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. If you're the best at it, I want to learn from the best at it. So when I was in that hour training, and I think Tony called me afterwards and we talked, he did not try to sell me anything. I'm at the end going, how much? What do I do? And he gave me the price. I said, okay. And we just took it from there because it resonated with me. I knew it's exactly what I wanted, and I knew what I could get from it. The other ones are like, I just, when you've got to check yourself like that and you don't know, walk away, because what you're going to do is you're going to invest in something that you're either not going to have a takeaway, or you're just not going to put the effort into it. And either way, you lose your money. So I told Richard, he said, I think he saw you on Facebook too and went into the training, and he felt the same way. He's like, this is it. This is the one. And there's other programs out there, and the price ranges from here to here, but you guys know what you're doing. And the support system, let me just tell you, having, again, my career of several things in my life, you have to have a good support system. You have to have a good mentor. And I know that I can go to Facebook or I can get on a call and you have the solution. So, and I'm a person in all my business years, I've told all my employees and stuff, I said, don't come at me with a grievance unless you have a solution, because otherwise it's just a session. You can fill in the blank. And I just don't want to sit and listen to that. And it's just, we have to be productive and, successful at this. So you guys offer that. Bottom line, every single phone call, I take something away. Every single time. And I just got to give you guys a lot of credit. I got to give you your kudos for listening to the same questions.
That's true.
And I love it because, as you're acquiring members into the program, I'm thinking of it. I listen to these people and I'm thinking, man, you have no idea how successful you're going to be. If you work this, if you do what they're telling you, you cannot fail. the only way you fail is if you just don't work it. You have to put the
exactly.
work in. So thank you so much for that, because Richard and I, we know we're going to blow this up. We're just getting started, but it's because we got you guys behind us.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And to add to that, I think what separates your program, and honestly, the reason why I invested, I felt like it was an investment on myself. You guys specifically, or at least Sam, when I spoke to him and I had some questions, Sam took his time and answered everything. But specifically, what I enjoyed about the program was shifting your mindset and understanding that, you're a real estate investor, and, you're eliminating your self-doubts. And then after you teach us all this, you basically give us a blueprint on how to build something, right? And if you don't start building it, how is it going to get done? And so after you've given us the blueprint, you got our mind right, then it's like, well, now you just got to do it. And that's on you. And it's like, and that really hits, because it's uncomfortable to call at first, especially when you don't understand the language. And I will say it's a different language. And the only way to learn in the language is immersion. You have to move to that country to learn that language. And that's the quickest way you learn it. And if you're not calling anyone, you're not doing.
Oh no.
I think he'll come back.
He's called.
His internet.
Could see why I had issues on the deal.
Yeah, right. The thing that impresses me most about your program is you have people week one. Is that mine? Yeah, that's mine. Okay. You have people week one making discovery calls and trying to write offers. They've not even finished the training.
I know.
That's a good program. Richard did it. I'm like, have you finished the training? Because I'm like, he's still frozen. Yeah. And Richard, he's like, I'm going to finish it this weekend. And he's been in it like a week, 2 weeks, and I've been in it a month. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to finish it. I'm going to try to finish it. So, but he's so cute. He's just awesome like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost him.
He'll probably come back. Maybe we'll see.
Okay.
But I appreciate all those kind words, Stevie. And you guys put in the work. You guys had to put in the work, and you guys are making it happen. And I think you said it best. I like to say it too, like,
sorry.
Oh, it's all good.
I'm sorry. I don't know where I cut off, but sorry about that.
Dude,
I was just saying that
pay your bill.
Pay the internet bill.
Pay that internet bill.
My work bill, yeah, my work has to pay the internet.
You just got to check, man.
We owe a lot to your program. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. And I think you guys both said it. It works if you put in the work, right? If you work it. And I think that's the most important thing. And it's just, if you keep showing up like you're doing, there's really no limit to this. And I know you guys can continue to make it happen. Every deal you learn so much. I know for me throughout the years, every deal has allowed me to get to where I'm today. You meet different people, you have different experiences, and just, I'm so happy that you guys went through a lot of stuff on this first deal, because you're going to wholesale houses where it's a dream to work with this real estate agent. It's going to be the easiest thing in the world. You're going to have deals that are maybe like foreclosures or short sales that don't need as much renovation as this particular property. So you've seen like one of the, seems like the most ran down properties. And you've acquired just such an awesome buyer too. There goes Richard, right? But you got just such an awesome buyer too. And I think that most importantly, you just proved it to yourself. And I think you've seen that you can do this over and over and over again.
Yeah, definitely. And it was fun. And it's still fun. We're talking about building a team. How crazy is that? We have one deal and we think we're.
There we go. Hey, we got to have those aspirations, right?
Yeah, we do.
Let's just, we'll get 2 or 3 months consistency, and maybe get an acquisitions associate in there, making some discovery calls, and then just keep taking it from there.
I told him, I said, we got to get to the place where we can kind of walk away from what we're doing a little bit and spend more time at this, because just the value is there. I mean, the ability to earn an income. We were on the phone after he picked up the check, and he said, I didn't even do anything. I said, no, the best part is you didn't have to have a real estate license.
Yeah.
So, and that is very valuable that people can do this without being licensed. It's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So thanks for all that you guys do, you and Ryan on the
Yeah.
calls.
Yeah.
Man, I feel bad for people that can't be on every single call. I try to be on every single call because there's always something that I take away.
Yeah. I know. I see you there every time. I love it. I love hanging out with you on those calls. Love seeing you and Richard. Because I know you guys are bringing something every time too. There's always, you guys took action. It's like, oh, we got this deal under contract, or what about this deal? Let's take a look at this one. Here's a scenario. And when you guys bring something, to each call and you implement, it's just so much easier, right? I feel like we're stacking rocks, in the right direction. It's, you're never coming and saying, oh, I didn't do anything for a couple of weeks. What should I do now? It's like, hey, I took these actions. Now what? Or took these actions. Hey, what's the next best move? And I love that because that now it's all practical. It's not theory.
Yes. Yeah.
And this is real. It's real estate. It's not fake estate or, theory estate. It's real. So what's real? What can we work with? Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I want to
awesome,
go
guys.
back through the training again, but I don't have the time. So, cause it's so valuable.
Yeah. Well, I'm working on the third iteration. I'm working on the next iteration right now. So you guys will get an upgrade pretty soon. So that'll be pretty exciting.
Good. I sent you some stuff. Did you get it?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I got it. Thank you for that. Good. That helps.
You're welcome. Yeah. Anything you need.
Awesome. Am I back? Can you guys hear me okay?
All right, back, good. Man.
Hey, Richard.
Sorry about that. Yeah. You know what, Alex? I feel like when you said, you're stacking rocks, I honestly do feel like that. I feel like we have a snowball and we're rolling the snowball and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And it's going to pop and it's just going to get so big. It's just going to roll itself downhill. Right, Stevie? I don't know if you feel that way, Stevie.
I do.
I just feel like it's coming and we're going to have so many houses under contract. We're just going to go crazy because we're not going to have time to do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, I have one question for Richard. Dude, are you 100% today? Because it's the first time I have ever seen you without a shirt and tie.
Oh yeah.
Is it dress down Friday or something?
No,
Casual Friday.
Yeah, it's kind of dress down Friday. I didn't have any meetings, but I always wear a suit and tie, and that's helped me a lot. I think that you say that in your training, wear a suit and tie, and I'm very comfortable in wearing a suit and tie, and it kind of just makes you feel more professional, like you know what you're doing, versus going in some shorts and a t-shirt. And I always wear a suit and tie. And people look at you like you're more sophisticated. I think I told you my first meeting, I went to a RIA. Everyone kept coming up to me like I knew what I was doing. And I just kept, oh yeah, here's my number. Here's, we exchange numbers. And you fake it till you make it.
Yeah. You just, first impressions are huge. From that first discovery call, meeting an agent at the property for the first time. You saw it firsthand. It's like a social experiment. You went to the RIA. People are like, oh, who's this guy? I got to talk to this guy.
Right. And honestly, that helps me a lot. I always wear a suit and tie. I've acquired them through the years and I don't really repeat my suits and ties. And they've even, I went to a RIA training and one of the guys are like, geez, you never not wearing a tie. Like you're always wearing I'm like, yeah, just, this is the way I dress. And they pointed it out and I kind of, and people go to you at the end of the meeting, they go to you and talk to you because they think you're the real deal and they think you know what you're doing. And I tell them, give me a call. We'll talk, we'll chat. And I keep it very short and simple. And, I also tell them like, hey, if you want a JV on a deal, I could help you out. They look at me telling people to JV on a deal. I mean, you just fake it till you make it, honestly. But yeah, I'm not wearing a tie today. A little bit of dress on day. It's raining.
We'll give you a pass.
Yeah.
I'll give you a pass, guys. And we didn't talk about the mindset, guys, because you guys already have it. It's already there. You get it. But if we didn't believe we're going to be successful, I think we already shoot ourselves in the foot. So you guys came into here, you had the right mindset. You believe you're going to be successful. And I wouldn't even call it fake it till you make it necessarily. It's just, you guys have the confidence that whatever comes up, you're going to be able to figure out that solution. And I think that's a really important thing to understand, that, you're going to have problems and we're going to create solutions and we're going to work together and have those solutions or come up with those solutions. And so people who aren't confident in their ability to do that or think they need to know everything won't take action, or they just don't, they lack that confidence and they're not going to be able to put their best foot forward. They're not going to submit offers. They're not going to put themselves in situations where they may not know all the answers, but they can figure out the answer. And as long as you guys protect yourself with inspection contingencies, work with the right people, then what's the worst that can happen? You just back out of a contract. right? What's the best thing that can happen? The upside is so high. I mean, there are people that I met at RIA's, guys, right? When I would go all the time when I was starting out, that are still some of my best friends today, that are private lenders, the broker that got me assistant access, title reps, hard money lenders, developers, just people you meet through the years. And so you never know who you're going to meet too. And you just got to put yourself in those situations like you're doing, and no one knows all the answers. So, it's okay to not know. And I think you can walk in confidence, not knowing all the answers.
And Alex, if I can add this, and Stevie will tell you, Stevie, how early am I to these RIA meetings?
Almost an hour.
Right. And like hour, half hour.
We're usually the first.
At first, yeah. At first it was like that, but it's because I'm nervous. I was nervous and I would rehearse in my head. I'm a real estate investor, just trying to get my mind right and trying to get focused. And I did that. And actually that helped me a lot because, you kind of say that in your training, tell yourself you're a real estate investor. I start reviewing some of the things just so I can get comfortable enough. But honestly, the more I do it, the more I become it. I definitely feel that I am definitely a real estate investor more than I was when I first started. And that's just getting your mind, feeling that confidence, gaining that confidence. But you're not going to gain confidence if you never do it. If you never pick up the phone, if you never call, if you never go to the RIA meetings. And that's everything. For me, it's always been uncomfortable. I can talk to anyone, but going to these big conferences, talking to people, and especially when you're wearing a suit and everyone comes up to you and wants to talk to you, you're like, you just kind of
you got to do something. You can't run away.
Yeah. And then they ask you for these cards, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I don't do the card thing. I just feel like you're gonna throw it away. I'll give you my number, and you know what helps me out because I get their number right away instead of giving them a card and then throwing it away. So when people hand me their cards, I'm like, here, let me put it in right quick. Let me take a picture of it, and I give them back their card just so I have their number saved, and I text them, and that's kind of like my way of telling myself that's why I don't have a card. Mm-hmm. I don't have a card because I'm fairly new. I probably won't get a card anymore because it's working for me. But rehearsing in the car for me has always been easier. Has always prepped me to go into these meetings and just having the right mindset.
It's paid off, huh?
Yeah, it has. And I definitely feel more comfortable. And now I'm starting to come like maybe 15 minutes early now instead of an hour.
That's good, man.
30 minutes. Yeah. 30 minutes. You're never 15 minutes. That'd be late for you.
Yeah, I'm very prompt. Yeah.
If you're early, you're on time. And if you're on time, you're late.
Yeah, I'm a believer in that. Absolutely. And so, I mean, I'm just so happy for you guys. This has been a real treat. Nothing's more exciting than seeing you guys put in the work, getting success, knowing it's just the beginning. And you guys both feel the momentum. And I would, I'd be alarmed if you guys didn't feel the momentum and believe that you could do it over and over and over again. And I think that's what it takes to do it over and over again. Just like you guys believed you're going to do that first deal and you did it. Believe that you're going to do it over and over and over again, and you will. And I have no doubt at all. As long as you keep working it like you're doing, you'll get those deals. And so I'm super excited for you guys because I think it's also not the beginning of a relationship. We've had a relationship for a little bit now, but I'm excited to grow with you guys in real estate too. A lot of these relationships we're talking about, I don't take our relationship for granted. We hang out every week. But I think we all have aspirations of doing bigger and better things. And so probably no doubt sometime in the future, we'll do some deals together in Florida or somewhere else,
That'd be nice.
I already told you guys I'm headed to Austin, but I've only been to Miami, but I think I need to visit Jacksonville pretty soon.
You do.
So guys.
Yes.
And you guys come to San Diego.
Hot market right now.
Oh, would love to come to San Diego. Oh, that's right, Richard. If we do, what is it? So much in 1 month, we get to go to San Diego and
just do 6 figures in a year. Fly out.
Okay, 6 figures in a year. All right, we're on it.
2021.
We calculated 100 would bring us like 350 if they pay us the same price, which we're definitely going to get better deals than that.
Yeah, if we just bought them 100 houses at 3,500 a fee.
Yeah, that's our goal right now.
There we go. Good.
And they said that they would pay higher fees depending on the house. They've paid as high as what? Did they say 15?
Yeah, no, they didn't give us a cap actually.
Oh, they didn't. No.
They didn't give us a cap, specific cap. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as the deal's profitable for them, you know,
Absolutely.
they probably don't care paying you 20K, 25K.
You
We
know,
can't
As long
wait
as
for
they hit
that
their minimum
day.
profit. Yeah.
You won't get
They'll
rid
be
of us
there.
because we'll be screaming on the mentor calls.
We paid this money.
Oh my God, look at this check.
oh yeah, I'd be nervous to pick it up. I'd be excited to pick it up.
I'll go pick it up, or we'll go together. Somebody will have to drive. We'll have to have a designated driver because we'll just be outside of our minds when that happens.
You get a limo. Yeah, you guys be in the back
Get a
having a few
limo?
drinks.
Yes.
My first check was 22,000, and I was 20 years old, and I remember that changed my life.
Wow.
Because right then and there, I was like, oh, I'm going to college right now to maybe make 50, 60K a year. And this is like 1/3 of that. And I was just like, okay, real estate, I'm going all in, you know?
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you did.
And I think it's that. I think it's acquiring. You get your first deal and you'll get comfortable. Did I get cut off again? Sorry.
you're back though, I think.
Sorry about that.
worries.
Yeah, can you hear me?
No, what was it? Yeah, what was it?
Yeah, I was saying I think that's what it is getting your first deal and believing that you can do it. You know, when you get your first deal in your hands, it becomes real. It becomes very real when you get your first check in your hand, because now it's just repeating what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was uncomfortable, but if you keep doing it, it becomes less uncomfortable. And imagine doing something. I honestly don't feel like I worked for it. I was in the military. I don't feel like I worked for that. I don't feel like I worked for that check at all. I mean, talking to people, doing some documents and collecting a check a few days later, I'll do that all day.
Yep.
That's the goal though, right? Make it a
Yeah.
full time. Yeah.
That's good. You feel like you didn't do that much. I mean, that's, you know, if you can do that on every single deal, awesome, phenomenal. And I think you guys have a good duo here. And one thing you guys keep saying too is that you're constantly uncomfortable. And I think that's perfect, because as corny as it is, right? We got our comfort zone. And if we stay here, we'll get exactly the same results that we want. But if you start going outside your comfort zone, which is so uncomfortable all the time, and everyone has this, right? But I'm constantly uncomfortable, guys. Like I'm anxious, but I'm excited. And you know, that's where the growth happens. So I'm happy that you guys are there too.
Thank you.
Stay there. All right, guys, you guys want to call it?
Sure.
This is awesome. Yeah, I don't want to keep you.
I know hang all day long.
We just had an hour, and
that's great.
I know you guys got deals and everything like that, but
he's
I
about to
appreciate you guys.
send an offer now, I think.
Yeah, I'm about to submit an offer right now.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm about to submit an offer as soon as I get off this call.
All right.
This one, hopefully this one brings us definitely a little more if we can get our hands on it. If we can get our hands on this contract, yeah, we'll definitely get a lot more.
We had a property yesterday, Alex, that I think it just went on the market and barely made a discovery call. We both had calls in and left messages because the realtor was the owner. He's also the broker. So we left messages. He called me back, not Richard. And the next thing you know, Richard gets an email that says, this property has an accepted offer. What are you looking for? So he's wanting to find more properties for us, but that property went like that. We didn't get our offer in.
Yeah.
It's crazy here in Jacksonville right now.
Speed is the name of the game.
Speed's the name of the game. Day zero properties, baby. Yeah. Sometimes other people beat us to the punch, but if you can be one of the first ones, that's what we want to do. Put yourself in that position. Well, you guys are seeing a lot of it unfold, and I'm just so excited. I mean, it's fun to see you guys go through the program. You just mentioned speed's the name of the game. You probably heard me say that 100 times. And you guys see it firsthand. So
it's the truth.
It is. It is. Well, once again, I'm just so excited for you guys. There's no limit to your potential. I'm excited to keep hanging out every single week with you. Keep some in those offers, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys did it. You made a few grand this first one. No reason why you can't make more and submit more offers. Just get more familiar with the process.
Yep.
Keep being uncomfortable.
Yeah. I think progress is made when you step out of your comfort zone.
Totally.
Just got to do it.
I agree.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
I appreciate it a lot.
Hey, let's keep doing deals. Let's keep making it happen. So
I'm definitely trying to go. I'm definitely trying to go to San Diego.
Oh yeah.
So to just do 100 deals this year, you know, probably make a lot of money, sell those all to JWB. I'll fly you out. We'll hang out when it's not rainy. We'll hit the beach. We'll have a good time. Hit the beach, have a few drinks, mastermind.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds great. All right, Alex,
All right.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, I know you guys got to submit offers. It was fun talking. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks,
bye.
guys.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.